Good morning, everybody. Thank you so much for all of you all for being here. And uh, you know, today is the great Sanjeev Kumar's birthday, so it's an honor and privilege to be here and remembering the great Sanjeev Kumar Sahab, whom I used to call Hari Bhai. And and thank you, Udayji, for inviting me, Rita, Harper Collins, all of you all, for giving me this honor and privilege to be here in front of all of you all, and giving me the opportunity to speak a few words before we start a kind of a conversation about Hari Bhai, whom I used to call Hari Bhai, but the great Sanjeev Kumar. We all, I think, actors over here, everybody knows, I don't have to say that we all are inspired and especially the realistic acting which Hari Bhai and Sanjeev Kumar brought to the to the theatre for on an Indian screen, and what he achieved in such a short span of his career is absolutely I have no words to express. It's been so many years, and people still remember each and every performance of his. It might be, any Sholay or including the film which we produced, Hum Panch. So my journey started with Hari Bhai earlier because I had seen his earlier films and I'd become his huge fan. The first time I really saw him was in a film called Sangharsh, where it was starring Dilip Kumar Sahab. And as a youngster, I went to see the film, and we went to see the Dilip Kumar film, and somewhere when we came out of the film, we said, "Who's this actor?" And it is there in the book where Dilip Kumar also says, Yusuf Saab, the great Yusuf Saab, the emperor of emperors, the greatest actor India has ever seen, saying, "Who's this boy? Who's this great actor?" And that was Sanjeev Kumar. And that's what I think what he felt, every cinegoer all over the world who saw him on screen in Sangharsh felt the same thing, that this young person is going to be one of the greatest actors of Indian screen. You see, there was Motilal Saab, there was Balraj Sahni, who, there was something, they had realistic approach towards their performances. And then after that, it was Sanjeev Kumar. But Sanjeev Kumar not only got the realistic acting approach to make all the characters come alive on screen, but he was a huge star also. Why I say huge star? There are actors and there are stars, but he was a star actor, actor-star. He was an actor, great actor, and a star also. Now, this is something which is very, 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 you have to be blessed to become like that. Because we were making Hum Panch, and we had all these youngsters in the film. There was Nasiruddin Shah, who was just coming up. There was Mithun Chakrabarti. There was Raj Babbar. There was Gulshan Grover. And it was directed by Bapu Saab, who was a new director for Hindi cinema. So he was, in a way, the whole film was all about, newcomers they had made their debuts in other films, but this was the film which would make them big stars. Because how would they become big stars? Because there was Sanjeev Kumar in the film. So my father approached Sanjeev Kumar, then me and my brother, Boni, went to meet him, and he was generous enough to say yes to the film. And Hum Panch would have not happened because he played the role of Krishna. So we needed a Krishna for the Pandavas. Who could be a better Krishna than Sanjeev Kumar? And today, if I'm sitting over here, and today if I've got the privilege to be here and the honor to be here, it would have not been possible without Sanjeev Kumar. I'll tell you how. Not only that he acted in the film, we could sell the film. We sold the film not because of these actors. We could sell the film, we could get the money to make the film because Sanjeev Kumar was headlining the cast. So we could make the film, we could get that kind of budget. That's what a star is. That you have an actor and you have a star who people give money to make the film. So he had a lot of successful films which were like Anamika and those kind of films which had become so successful. And with Jayaji, he had done so many films. Jaya Bachchan, he has done some great films, very successful films. So we could make this film Hum Panch. Now that is Hum Panch. Our company was launched. Me and my brother were launched as producers with Hum Panch, thanks to Sanjeev Kumar, thanks to we could sell the film. And after that, we wanted to make Wo Saat Din. Okay? Now, Wo Saat Din, we liked the script, we liked the story. but we needed the money. So I'm not only talking of Sanjeev Kumar, this is a great actor, one of the greatest actors of Indian screen, but what a great and a generous human being he was. So I said we needed 75,000 rupees. So we had, I said, now how do we get the 75,000 rupees? So 25,000 rupees we anyhow managed. Then we needed some more. So Haribhai gave us 25,000 rupees. I said, you take this 25,000 rupees and buy the story rights of Wo Saat Din. If he had not given us the 25,000 rupees, not only Hum Panch as producers, but me as an actor would not be sitting here. It is that 25,000 rupees we could get and buy the rights of Andel Natkal, written by K. Bhageraj. And we could make that film, and we made that film, and I played the character of Prem Pratap Patialewale. It's exactly 39 years Wo Saat Din has released, and today I am here, sitting here in front of you all, and thanks to that film, thanks to the character, and thanks to the generosity of Sanjeev Kumar that he gave us that 25,000 rupees to buy the rights of the film. So that's what Sanjeev Kumar is. I can go on, if I can go on and on, my entire experience with Haribhai, going to his house, meeting him, and the kind of person he was, the kind of human being he was, and we can, straight away, I think Rita says, let me write this book also.
So that would be a pleasure
Yeah,
as
pleasure.
well.
So it can go on and on. So I would just end it and give the mic to Uday Saab. Uday Saab, I'm sure you would introduce and ask him. I said, this is what I feel. I felt that comes from my heart, what I want to say about Haribhai. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Anilji. We have begun on a beautiful note of gratitude. So thank you so
We
much.
have to celebrate today. We have to celebrate. This whole press conference, the entire people, all of us, we must be happy and we should celebrate the great Sanjeev Kumar, his life, his legacy, his performances, and how much joy and how he has entertained us. Until today, whenever you open a television, any channel, if there is a Haribhai's film, you get hooked and you want to watch those films. Great films, Satyajit Ray, you name the filmmakers,
Shatranj
Gulzar
Ke Khiladi.
Saab. So many of his films which he has done absolutely have stood the test of time. That's what real acting and good acting is. Sorry, I'll go on and on. My apologies.
So in fact, just adding one small detail to what our beloved Anil Kapoor sir has said. When I met Gulzar Bhai for a narration in the book, he scolded me. He said, "Dukhi आदमी मत बताना मेरे दोस्त को, वो बहुत खुश आदमी था." And I think the khushi that Anil ji has shared with us about his experiences with Sanjeev Kumar have set the perfect tone for the launch today. Thank you, sir. We are honored and grateful. Uday ji, I already see tears in your eyes. Uday ji's mother, Jyoti Jariwala, उन्होंने ना 14 साल संजीव कुमार की सुबह की चाय बनाई है. Sad demise of Haribhai. When the will had to be probated, there was Jyoti ji and there was Uday ji, and it took 6 lakhs to probate the will. And your brother was the first one to come forward and give money to Jyoti ji and Uday ji and say, go ahead and probate the bill. Are you aware of this, sir?
No, I'm not aware of this.
So I'm telling sir something that he doesn't know, thankfully, about Sanjeev ji. So sir, your entire family has a very abiding relationship. I think Surinder sir was with Shammi ji at some point.
Absolutely.
And Haribhai, Surinder sir and Shammi ji were very close.
Yes.
So I think it's a long and abiding relationship with your family.
Yeah, drinking
Would you
friends.
like to
They
comment
were
on that?
drinking
Yeah.
friends. No, we have to enjoy today. We have to have a lot of fun. They were drinking friends and all three of them were fond of drinking. So my dad was very fond of drinking. Haribhai was very fond of drinking. And we have had some great meals. And Haribhai used to love my cooked food made by my mother. And used to love the payas which my mother used to make. And he would just go completely, so he would love food so much. And my mother she is, one of the finest cook in the film fraternity. I can vouch that. And her payas and her palau and everything made, Haribhai just loved it, absolutely loved it. So yes, so they three, my father was Shami Kapoor's secretary, and you know, and used to, and of course, those were the days. There was nothing called secretary or assistant and all. Everybody lived absolutely equally, and everybody was treated like a family. So they all were like a family. It's just that it was a a title that he's a secretary, but actually he was a family member of, and Haribhai and all were there. So there we would go, and Shami uncle used to have a lot of parties at his Blue Heaven, which is there in Malabar Hill, his house over there, and Haribhai used to come over there, and so they were very friendly. So it is their friendship also which really, to a certain extent, the reason for Haribhai to say yes to Hum Panch.
Ji.
Yeah.
Thank you, sir.
I
Uday,
can go on. Sorry, I've got too
sir,
many
please
incidents
go
here.
on. We are here for you.
Sorry.
Udayji, about the food that Haribhai liked at home, I think he had a lot of Gujarati dishes and he had a favorite restaurant in Bandra. That all of that we've mentioned in the book. Would you like to take us through some of his other favorite food items?
Like Anil just said, paya. I know because there were a lot of paya parties which I used to attend. So paya was his favorite, and khichda. So basically, in the house was veg.
What is khichda?
It's with mutton and
It's lamb and dal.
dal, yeah.
Yeah.
Like something like a dal gosh or something.
Dal gosh or something, yeah.
So basically that was it. And Chinese, the gazebo that time was in Hill Road. I don't know. So gazebo was his favorite joint. So he used to be there a lot of times with that.
Anilji, looking back, the generation today may not be aware of Haribhai's national award winning films. Dastak hai, Koshish hai. I think today's generation will know Haribhai by Silsila or Sholay
Or Trishul.
or Trishul, all time.
Angur. All the
Angur.
comedy films he had, fantastic. He was a great comedian. He was one of the finest comedians. Yeah. I used to love Haribhai's timing, sense of timing. People, talk about so many other actors, but he was the best comedian, and being a comedian and having this great timing as an actor is a hallmark of a great actor. Drama, tragedy comes very easy. I'm being very honest, but comedy, या तो आप में है या तो नहीं है. कोई सिखा नहीं सकता उसको आपको.
So which brings me to the question, which are your favorite performances of Haribhai?
My favorite, I can just keep on telling you, I think every performance from Dastak to Koshish to Sholay to Anamika and Manchali, and I've seen all his films, and especially all the films which he did. And I think Jaya Bhadri, who's Jaya Bachchan ji now, and Haribhai, I think they made a fantastic pair. All the films directed by Gulzar Saab and Haribhai, I think it was like Martin Scorsese and Robert De Niro. Gulzar Saab and Haribhai. Andhi, till today I keep on watching again and again and again and again. Mausam, these films are phenomenal. The music is, in the morning
R.D.
also when I'm
Burman
getting
sir.
ready, R.D. Burman Saab's music, Gulzar Saab's lyrics, his direction, Haribhai's acting. They're all films which are absolutely classics. And आज भी सुबह उठता हूँ मैं अपना मेकअप करता हूँ या बाल बनाने होते हैं या ऐसा बैठे तो सुबह आंधी के गाने लगा लेता हूँ. मौसम के गाने, and there are certain songs sung by even the great Bhupender Singh,
Ji.
in Mausam they are evergreen songs, and all the songs in Andhi also are evergreen. Music.
तेरे बिना जिंदगी से कोई शिकवा तो नहीं.
Absolutely. And so there are so many, I can just go on and on, from the time. Then I've seen a lot of his stunt films also. Haribhai, he was, Raja Aur Rank was one of the first films as a kid when I saw. Raja Rank were other, in a way, Raja Rank would have not been possible if Haribhai was not there in the film. Raja Rank were two new boys, but actually, basically, the film was headlined by Sanjeev Kumar, Raja Rank, and it was a Golden Jubilee hit.
Ji.
Absolutely a Golden Jubilee hit, I remember.
Anil sir is talking about times when you can imagine a young, shirtless Sanjeev Kumar sir looking like a chocolate boy, wearing just a waistcoat. That is the time he's talking about, and there are so many reviews at the time. And Sanjeev Kumar made the arduous journey from these kind of stunt films to mainstream, hero. And since Anil sir spoke about Martin Scorsese has made a list of 40 films you must watch before you die. And one of them is Shatranj Ke Khiladi.
Absolutely. Matter of fact, I was in Lucknow 3 days back, and that's what I mentioned. I said I've never ever shot in Lucknow, but I remember Lucknow only with Shatranj Ki Khiladi. I think Lucknow, Sanjeev Kumar Sahab, because Satyajit Ray Sahab, one of the greatest filmmakers of the world on planet till today, made a film, first Hindi film, and who does he cast? He cast Sanjeev Kumar. I'm sure anybody would have just posted it in front of him and said, please, mujhe le lo, But he casted Sanjeev Kumar for Shatranj Ki Khiladi. And the film was critically acclaimed all over the world. And I'm sure not only the film also, but he made Lucknow with his appearance in Shatranj Ki Khiladi, the great Satyajit Ray and the great Sanjeev Kumar.